Okay, so had to take a break there. Okay, so what you're going to see there again is the different voices. So under channel 1, you have a bright piano. Under channel 2, we've got preset 2, we've got our B3 organ sound. Under preset 3 or part 3, we have the cello, and under part 4 slider, we've got our pad. Now, what you can also do is control the volume of each slider by pushing the volume button and then looking at, I'm going to move this screen way better this way. And I'm going to move up and down the slider 1 and see I can control the volume of each part. Take it to 0 or to its max, 0 to its max, by simply just pushing the volume button, okay? And of course you have the master volume as well. Okay, so while we're in this volume button, how do we get back? So it's simple. We just click back the perform button, and then that will bring us to the 4 voices. Now, these little strips that you see here, these are the keyboard ranges. So if you look here, limit left and limit right, I can select the piano, and by selecting limit right, which is SF5, and then push a key like this, notice how that has decreased my range to the lower octave, okay? Now if I want to open it back up to the full spectrum of the keyboard, I hold the button down, come down and push that button, and then you'll see that it is back to full strength. So sometimes, of course, I'll always have the piano on full keyboard, but my cello, I'll keep that in the lower octave. My pad, I typically have full octave, and also my B3 organ I have in full octave. Okay, so if I want to go back to the original performer preset, I just push it again, and we're back to Grace Church. Now again, we want to look at changing the sets, the sound. So I go to voice, boom, there they are, 4 there. Now, you mentioned that you kind of want to have a piano, a light, like a electric or a waltzer sound. This is what you do, is while you're in the 4 user setting there, 4 sounds, what you do is you come over here and you click category search. Boom. What that does is it defaults it to these subcategories here. So for example, if I want, before I go, let me go back. It's important that you notice, go to volume, that see where the cursor is on 1, that links to this volume, this fader here. So what we're going to be doing is changing the sound for preset 1. So we go to category search, and then that allows me to look at pianos, keyboards, organ sounds, guitar sounds, bass sounds, strings. So for example, with a waltzer or an electric piano, I'm going to actually select keyboard, and then I'm going to come here, and then by using the dial I can scroll through different types of let me turn my keyboard on here, different types of waltzer sounds, like a vintage 74. Plug that in. So as you notice, all 4 of my faders are on. So I'm going to turn volume again. I'm going to turn everything down except for the piano. And then of course I can lower that volume to just having a very, very small sound. So I'm going to turn that up. Again, to go back to the screen, I'm going to click Performer again. And then there I am. I've got the vintage 74. And let's say, well, I want to do something like a Bell DX7. Or a ballad EP, you know, you can, they all have different sounds. But everything under the keyboard bank here is going to be keyboards other than piano. So for example, I think if I wanted like a super clav, and then of course anything under piano, you're going to have all sorts of different types of pianos, to where you could have a 1968 piano to a ragtime piano, you know, so different piano sounds. Okay, so going back, so we want, let's say we want to choose a waltzer, so I go to keyboards, and then I scroll down into, I usually pick a vintage 74. Now at this point, the only thing you do, you got it highlighted, is you select Performer. And then it takes you back to the Grace's Church's main file, click Voice, and there it is, it's changed. Now the slider 1, instead of it being a grand piano, it is now the Waltzer 74. Now, so let's say we want to change, we like the B3, like the cello, but we want to scroll down to the analog, which is part 4, and change that to a string. So by using the arrow buttons, we just click down to 4, that's set to 4, and then again we go to product or category search, which is here, we click that, and then we look at the subcategories here, organ, bass, strings, so we want to look at strings. And under strings you're going to see violin, cello, and then there are different string sections that you use. I typically use on worship, background is a good warm strings, and an ensemble mix. And the ensemble mix, I just feel like has a really nice high string. I'll hold that sustaining string up high. So again, if we want to select that, we have it highlighted, then we just click Perform. It goes back to the Grace Church category. We click Voice. See the line going up to Voice. This line's going up to there. Play is here. So you see these little lines going up. So I click Voice, and there it is. And then I can change, limit, if I want to limit the different range of that string to just a high octave up here. I can choose limit low or limit high. Okay, I think that will help you, and then you can go through and select the other 4 or any of the 4 sounds that you want. So hope that helps, and I'll send that to you, and hopefully it won't be too long. All right, man, take care. Bye-bye.